Okay, so they say on the internet, nobody knows you're an introvert. I guess I'm here to out myself. Yeah, why would I want to do that? I got that question a lot, like what on earth would an introvert want to do on the stage in front of 400 people? Excellent question. I did that 25 things on Facebook. You know, probably a lot of people did that too. And number 15 for me was that I'm an introvert. And my college roommate, who lived with me for 4 years and got to know me pretty well, said, I don't agree that you're an introvert. And I was like, what? You don't get to disagree with this. I just am. And then I thought, well, if she misunderstands what introversion is, probably a lot of other people do too. So I'm here to clear a few things up. Yeah. First of all, most people think that introverts are shy. And some introverts are, and some extroverts are also shy, but shyness and introversion are not the same thing. So that's myth number one, just keep that in mind. Another thing that most people assume about introverts is that we're antisocial and that we don't like other people. I actually do have friends, and the next slide should prove that. They're all on Facebook, but no. Introverts do like other people. We're not antisocial. I mean, some of us might be antisocial, but antisocial and introversion are not the same thing. So that's another myth I just want to get out of the way right here. So if introverts aren't necessarily shy and they're not necessarily antisocial, what the heck is wrong with us? Nothing is what I want to say first. But the deal is that we like people, you just wear us out. So think of it like you might want to go for a run, you like running, but you're tired at the end. That's how we feel about this kind of thing. I'm going to have to sleep for a week after this. This guy wrote a popular article you can find on the internet. I think most people have heard of introverts, probably because of the Myers-Briggs that you had to take at some horrible team-building exercise. That's something that introverts really do hate. Yeah, ooh. Maybe that book, Please Understand Me. There's nothing wrong with it. The title just gives me the willies. If you haven't heard of it from one of those two things, you might have taken an online quiz like this one on Facebook. Just so you know, it got me totally wrong, though it did manage to identify me as an introvert. I think extroverts usually write them, so they go with that, are you shy kind of thing. So, but believe it or not, Facebook didn't invent, well, I got a lot of N words in this, didn't invent introversion, neither did Myers-Briggs. Carl Jung's the guy that came up with it. He's a psychoanalyst, came up with it in 1920. He wrote about it in a book called Psychological Types. He was an introvert himself. That doesn't mean he had a whole lot of nice things to say about them. This was the best that I could find that he came up with, is that we're not a total social loss. Nice, right? But even Carl Jung didn't think there was something wrong with being an introvert. He just had a hard time saying anything nice. So he probably thought it a lot, because that's kind of what we do as introverts. One of the myths that I found well, I wouldn't call it a myth, but one thing that I found over and over again with no good citation is that extroverts make up 75% of the population, introverts make up 25%. The one thing that I did find that had a good citation was that it's really more like 50-50. That was from the Journal of Psychological Types. What I think the problem is that you guys just do 75% of the talking. But really, it's not that people are all introvert or all extrovert all the time. It's kind of a continuum, a sliding scale. Most people spend more time at one end or the other, but can kind of move back and forth. It also tends to change as you get a little bit older, so keep that in mind. And I want to make sure that I say that I like extroverts. I married one. You guys come in really handy. My husband makes the social arrangements. He fronts me on the small talk, because if there's one thing that all introverts agree on, as far as I can tell, is that we really, really hate small talk. Now, I don't want to say that there's anything intrinsically wrong with small talk. It has some social purpose. Some people are really good at it. I don't want to knock it. I'm just really bad at it, and most introverts are. I probably will remember to say hello to you if I see you. I'm kind of, at least I've learned that habit, especially if I don't see you very often. If you start asking me how I am and wanting to talk about the weather, I'm going to start saying weird stuff back. It's not on purpose. I just don't really know how to respond to that, and you'll find that that's true with a lot of introverts. This is because we do a lot of thinking, and so we're probably totally occupied with something in our head that has nothing to do with what's going on in front of us. So if we come out with something really random, it's not non sequitur to us. We got there, hours ago. We're still pondering it. So, another thing that introverts tend to agree about is that we hate repetition. Oh, if you say the same thing to us over and over again, we might not say it, but you're driving us crazy. We also don't like to have to say the same thing to you over and over again, because we were listening the first time, and we expect you to be too. So one more thing about us, if we don't come to your party, it's not because we don't like you, it's because we don't like parties. If we don't call you to make social arrangements, again, it's not about you. We just tend not to make that extra jump. We're perfectly happy most of the time sitting on the couch at home in our pajamas. That's okay with us. So women of a certain age might remember that Grumpy Bear was happy being grumpy. Introverts are happy being introverts, and that's the one thing I want to leave you with tonight, is we don't wish we were extroverts, and please don't try to draw us out of our shell, but we'll hang out with you one-on-one, and we probably have some really funny jokes that we've been cooking up for days and days.